I am deeply concerned about our obsession with subjects rather than skills. I find it difficult to accept that we could go on and on for bragging rights about who gets the most subjects in our schools and not worry about how we connect in with the labor market and what these children are going to do. These students are going bright as they are when they finish school. Because what I see before me is rising unemployment, especially amongst our youth. In many of our countries, the youth unemployment rate is double the national average. So that concerns me, and for me it is very clear that skills is an area. So you can go into some countries and you still can't find plumbers, you still can't find masons. The really good ones are in high demand, and the other ones, well, let's just not talk about that. But then you also have the issue of what is it that we're creating for this new economy? When you look at the skills required for the 21st century, there are skills in the area of emotional intelligence, the soft ones. Then there's coding, and there's cognitive reasoning, and those are not skills that are being sufficiently addressed in our school system. And what is bothersome is that not only are we setting up our children for frustration, but when you look at the region, the average spend on education is actually above the average in developing countries. But the issue is really, where are we channeling those resources? The quality of the expenditure. And therefore, I would argue that we need to focus now on what it is that we're going to do. Listen, we have a chance as a region to leapfrog, to make a quantum leap in terms of our development. But it's going to have to be skills. We're going to have to change the dynamic with respect to skills, and it starts with a conversation. You can't leave skill development to education and educators. And I say that with due respect. My mom, my dear, was a master teacher, principal. I have great respect for educators. But he who knows only education does not know education, in the same way that he who only knows economics does not know economics. You have to have an interdisciplinary approach where you bring others to the table. And a lot of that discussion really requires that we bring industry together. So when Minister Strong was speaking this morning about the need to engage private sector, he kept making that point. I fully agree with him. For me to discuss the whole evolution of skills in our region at this time, in our school system, it has to be a conversation that goes beyond education. It has to involve economists, it has to involve private sector, it has to involve civil society, and ultimately, obviously, it has to involve our youth. So I fully agree that we need to skill. And the truth is, more than just teaching or training for 21st century skills, is a mindset that we have to keep skilling and reskilling. Because as Alvin Toffler said, the illiterate in the 21st century is a person who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. And basically, it requires us to have that agility, as was referred earlier, where we continue to reskill. And so I say to young people, not just that you stay forever young, but you stay forever skilled. And that requires a commitment to lifelong learning.